We're going to talk about the charts today and are we finally getting the pullback we've been waiting on? And I'm going to do a little deep dive into QQQY. This is Mike, the tactical stock scalper. All right. First off, we're going to start off with a little discussion on QQQY. When it first came out, my buddy Steve in Retire on Dividends Discord said that QQQY was not going to be any good. It was going to be down to $15 by December. And I told Steve, little does he know, I like bad girls. And the QQQY is nothing but a bad girl. She has been completely awesome. Let's look at her. So if you look at now in the Qs, we're down, 0.43%. At this point, let's look at QQQY. What? Down 28%? This is why I absolutely adore QQQY. Now, we don't capture the upside very well, and that is the honest-to-God truth. However, we do have some protection on the downside, which I absolutely love. For me, it's the main focus is not to lose my money. Making money is also a focus, but to not lose my capital is so important. And QQQY has afforded that to me. Now, she's a filthy girl. I mean, the dividends are juicy. The stock moves like a snail. Oh my gosh, I love QQQY. I think that and Jeppy, just in my personal opinion, are the best high-yielding funds out there currently. Number one, they both follow the market. So if you saw Tesla today, we're going to go over that chart. We saw that Tesla tanked because someone came out and said they think it's going to go to $150 or something, right? So people are like, oh my God, this guy said it, and Tesla started tanking because of that. You're not getting that with the markets, right? It just doesn't happen. So my long-term plan with Tesla is to get it up to where I'm actually making money from it, and then maybe sell it off and buy more QQQY, JEPY, or IWMY. All right, that's my little spiel on QQQY. She's beautiful. Let's get into the charts. All right. So we've been waiting on this pullback for quite some time, and it's still not here yet. I mean, even though we have a down day, we're literally just chopping on the Qs between 370 and 375. It hasn't broken down. It hasn't broken out. So until it breaks this 370 level and gets down there to the 365 level, then we can talk about it being a beautiful pullback, and we can buy some more of our favorite high-yield dividend stocks. But right now, not much going on with the Qs. Just chopping. Let's look at SPY for a second. Now, it doesn't have to pull back. Now, I was looking for SPY to break the 435 level. So SPY is now coming down, at least at this point in the day, and breaking down. We're looking for SPY, I am anyway, for SPY to get down to this 430 level as its first spot of resistance. We also have the moving averages right there, as you see on a daily time frame. So we can expect some support there at the 430 level. Will it hold from there and form a higher low? We don't know. Or will it drop down and fill both sets of gaps and maybe get down to the 425 level? We will just have to see. But I will say this, if it doesn't break down from here and we continue to chop, let's say we go back up tomorrow between 435 and 440, we could be having a correction through time and a pullback may not happen. This does happen from time to time where instead of getting a pullback, we just chop in a particular area, like here, for instance, between 435-ish and 440, and we just chop in here for a little bit of time, maybe another week or so. Who knows? And that could be the pullback. It sounds strange, but it happens. There are corrections through time, and we may be getting that. But I am still leaning towards a pullback, and let me show you why. Let's look at the IWM chart. Let's pull her up here. So the IWM chart as signaled that a pullback was coming because it has been down. It was going down the last 3 days while the markets were going up. Typically why it's called the canary in the coal mine, as it sends out a signal beforehand. The reason why that happens is because these are speculative funds. They're not the S&P. They're not the NASDAQ, right? They're not Apple. These are funds that are speculative. And what happens is maybe investors and mutual fund operators and other people liquidate or sell positions in IWM first, anticipating a market downturn. Or on the flip side, they'll buy these before the markets start going up. So that's the reason it's called the canary in the coal mine, that people sell these funds first, and then that signals a sell-off is coming in the market, and they don't want to be caught with their pants down. Now, as far as IWMY, let's look at this. This is down 1.20% as we speak now. Let's look at IWMY. What? Only 0.65 down? That's because these funds are selling puts on the market. So even as it goes down, we as shareholders are collecting dividends from it. So this is just a fantastic play. Cannot wait to get into IWMY, but I am being patient, waiting for a drop below 20. Hopefully we get it. We'll see what happens. Now I want to talk about Tesla and Tesla. Tesla today, as you see through here, we got our dynamic move that we were looking for. Tesla just chopped around in this area and then finally broke down through 210. That was time for me to average down on TSLY. I will wait to average down again on TSLY to see what happens around this 200 level. So we're going to wait here and be patient. Let's look at Tesla on the weekly. I typically buy at important levels, and I bulk buy at those levels so I can get my average costs down as opposed to nickel and diming it on the way down. I like to make money several different ways off these things, and I think you can make money by averaging down in bulk at levels as opposed to nickel and diming it down. True, if you're a long-term holder and you buy here, buy there, buy there, buy there, you won't remember where you bought it. However, your account will remember that you bought in bulk at levels, even though you may not. So for me, it looks like we are definitely headed down to this 200 level. And if we get the pullback from the market, we can expect Tesla to get down to this 200 level and maybe touch the 200 period moving average again that you see in purple. That's a very strong level. We will have to see what happens there. Let's look at my Tesla position. I haven't done much in the market the last couple of days because there hasn't been anything for me to do. The market is just chopped, so there's no reason for me to buy or do anything else until we get to a level. So like I said, I went ahead and averaged down a little bit more on my TSLY position. I did a small bulk buy. I am waiting to put more into it to see if we break down to some other levels. We're at $11 here. It's not necessarily the price of TSLY that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a chart breakdown on Tesla or levels on Tesla to buy and then to get my average cost down. The reason I bulk buy at levels is because I'm expecting a possible bounce from those levels, and that's why I do that. It's almost like trying to time the bottom, even though that's an impossibility. At least it gets me closer to possibly timing the bottom. Let's look at QQQY just one more time and just look how gorgeous she is. I can't help but show this girl off. So let's go to her on a 4-hour time frame. We can get a little more information here as opposed to the daily or anything else. So we had the big dividend drop there, and it dropped her down to 1730. Look, even though the market has gone up, she didn't go up as much as the Qs did. But what she did was steadily gain, and she was getting closer and closer to filling the gap about 820 from where she fell from the dividend drop. I mean, she was like at 805 or something like that. So if we drop here in the markets, maybe QQQY will get down to 1750, and that would be the spot, me personally, that I would be looking in to possibly buy there. Why 1750? Because I think that's going to go in line. Let's look at the Qs one more time. Zoom this out to a daily. I think if it drops down there, that gives me possibly close to 360 on the Qs. We'll have to see how that price works out. So on the Qs, if we break down through 370, I'm looking for 365 minimum as a bounce, but I think more likely 360 could be an option. We may fill this gap here that is yet to be filled. I do not know if we fill that bottom gap or not under 360. We'll just have to wait and see. But if we do get the pullback, I'm expecting a dynamic move out of here, and 365 would be the next stop, followed by 360 on the Qs. If you like my content, please give the video a thumbs up, and maybe if you like to hear this old man's voice, click on a sub. I would surely appreciate it. This is Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper, out.